Hello, you all. It is Jenny here, and I am coming to you on day 6 of the hCG diet. Day 6 of round 2, that would be. Okay. I have a class ending in just 3 minutes for a regular student of mine who has not showed up. He has never, ever missed. I see him regularly twice a week. Never missed. In fact, I was just texting with his mom. Not really texting. There's an app called WeChat. And actually, there's a message on it. She's probably texting me, writing on WeChat right now. No. This is from last night. They're traveling to Vietnam now, and that's why she had to cancel the class this week. Okay. So at any rate, very unusual for her not to show up. They'll show up like he'll be like riding in a car or be at a mall and sit in a chair. Like they will have class no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and start teaching because I messed up my schedule. And as I'm looking at it right now, this is the 6 o'clock in the morning class, the 6:30 in the morning. I've got nothing booked. It's not opened. Nobody can book it at 6:30. And I go to my other schedule and it's not open there either. And nobody can book within an hour. So I can't open it up for like a last minute booking. Last minute bookings are like within 24 hours up to an hour before the class. So for the next half hour, I'm not going to have any students, which reminds me, set alarm for 6:55 a.m. All right. Just so that I don't have a panic and I'm sitting here on the video. I should not be doing this video that long. Anyway, that'll just remind me in general in case I get distracted doing something else. All right, so here we go. I got on the scale today, and we're going to talk about this first. It was a stall. Who has a stall in their first week on the hCG protocol? I do. So I hope this is not too loud. You may need to adjust your volume. I did everything to try to fix the mic situation, and somehow my other microphone headset that I have I have all the settings as high as possible on my computer that I could go in and fix. And no matter what I do, my sound is very quiet and soft. And I could see even on the little microphone that students were like adjusting things and trying to listen to me. And so I went back to Old Faithful, who I've had for the past almost 3 years and used every day, multiple hours every day. Yeah, so what a waste of money that other headset was, right? Yeah, hopefully I can give them to my son and he can use them for gaming or something. Not that he needs, he doesn't really do online stuff. All right, I'm getting out of here. Yes, exit the classroom. That was the last class, actually officially ending at 25 minutes after the hour. All right, so here we go. I am at a stall. Okay, so initial reaction, I step on the scale, I see the number, and I'm very sad. Truth be told, that was my original reaction. Very sad. I mean, wouldn't you be? First week on the protocol, what's going to happen on week 2 and week 3? If week 1, you have a weight gain of basically a pound, followed by no weight loss at all. Something's happening with me because I also woke up feeling very bloated and full. So I took the hormone and then I started thinking, I might be taking too much hCG. And I've never heard of too much hCG actually causing you to gain weight, but I have heard that too much hCG can cause you to have hunger cravings. There's a lot of information out there on the internet if you're doing injections. I know nothing about the injections, how many cc's you're supposed to give yourself and how to adjust it and how much to adjust it. So I'm not going to address that. I'm sorry. If you're doing injections, there's some great research out there. I mean, just Google. There's thousands of people who talk about the hCG injections and how much you should do and how to adjust it. I have been on the drops, and here's the interesting thing. Okay, so I have my bottle of drops, and it says that you're supposed to take 10 drops 3 times a day. Now, when I first did the diet, the gal who told me about this, which is in another video, maybe I'll do that at some point, review that story, but she said, I found that you have to take 21 to 22 drops in order, because it says one bottle is supposed to last for the 21-day cycle. She goes, in order to do that, you really need to take about 20 to 21. So they're off on their dropper size and all that. So, okay, so that's what I always did. Then I come to realize that usually it's about as much as when you have an empty dropper, stick it in the bottle sideways, let go, put it under my tongue. That's always about the same. And I can kind of always feel about the same amount of liquid. The last time I stopped measuring altogether. The measuring, like I say, is about 20 some drops. Now, what I'm doing different this time that I didn't do last time, and maybe that I didn't do last time and maybe even the time before, is that I am making sure that I'm taking my hCG morning, noon, and night. Last time, almost the whole cycle, I only took it twice. I decided to use it when I was hungry. So, you're supposed to eat to hunger on this diet. So the philosophy is, do you also take hCG? You are supposed to monitor it and adjust it based on how you feel at different times. Actually, I don't even have it anymore because I was doing some research today to see. I could not find anything on the internet at all that said, take too much hCG, get a weight stall. Here's what I did find is a lot of information basically saying, how are you feeling, and adjust it accordingly. One of it being, are you hungry? You're probably taking too much hCG. In addition to that, some of the side effects are headaches, irritability, restlessness, fatigue, depression, swelling in your feet, ankles, lower legs, or hands, appearance of female breasts in men. And then if you're doing the injection, possibly pain in the site of the injection. Now, those are just general side effects, not necessarily too much, but possible side effects that people could experience. Often they experience them if they're receiving too high a dose of the hCG hormone. I'm thinking this is something. I ate fine yesterday. I didn't have my peanut snack. I only had a salad. I had it with the chicken. The chicken is now, it was the last of the chicken that I had cooked up a couple weeks ago. So it's officially getting really dry, and it sits for that long in the refrigerator. And I didn't make it, with like mayo and a lot of olive oil or anything. I mean, I think the top lightly brushed it with a little bit of olive oil or avocado oil, just to make the spices stick to it. But, by now there really wasn't many spices on in that. So I cut up the chicken. And I stuck it in a pan and I added coconut oil. I was going to add some oil. I'm like, I'm going to be good. We talked about coconut oil a little bit yesterday. I put the coconut oil in there, even though I thought it's my favorite thing, and added a lot more spices. I did add a lot more sodium. There was a lot of seasoning salt, and salt in general. And then I threw some garlic salt. I just wanted to spice it up and make it taste better. I'll be honest with you. Then I put it on the salad with a little bit of salad dressing, and I ate it. I did get to the point that I was full, like it was uncomfortable to eat anymore. So I gave the rest of it to my husband and told him, add yourself some extra vegetables and croutons and cheese to this, and here's your dinner. So he finished eating it last night. Now, I did weigh. I had usually I use about one chicken breast and like half of another one. There were 2 that were left, and I looked at the size of them. I haven't been weighing because I kind of have a general idea of what things weigh, and I looked at the 2 of them. I'm like, this is too much chicken. But I'm curious, how much is it? So I went ahead and weighed it, and it was like 4 ounces. I think it was 4 and 5.5, I want to say. No, maybe it was a little bit more than that, because I remember thinking, yeah, I shouldn't be eating this much chicken. I did end up putting all the chicken in the salad, but again, I didn't eat a good portion of it, so I gave a lot of the chicken to him. But I just kind of, as an experiment, thought, let me give this a try. Shoot, I can't remember the numbers right now. But I remember thinking, yep, sure, I was right. This is too much chicken. It's not the amount of chicken I would normally put in the salad. It was just kind of like, if I didn't eat it all, the amount that would be left would have been less than 3.5 ounces, and then it would have been a weird amount of leftover food. And again, as I said, it's really kind of dry at this point and not something that I'm just going to want to eat as a protein at another point in the day if I'm hungry. So today I'm going back to just doing the drops twice a day. I actually forced myself. I was going to bed, wasn't hungry at all. And then right before turning off the light, saw the drops sitting on my bedside and went, oh yeah, the drops. And then took more drops again before I went to sleep last night. And I haven't done that in the past. So I'm thinking this might be it. At the same time, if I have the mixed vegetables still in my house, I'm going to eat those. I know I have packages of broccoli with cheese sauce. I don't know. I never even bought them. My husband did at some point, so clearly they were on sale at some point. And my kids don't really like melted cheese. I don't know what's wrong with them. My son doesn't even like good cheese melted on things that much. I mean, he'll eat a grilled cheese sandwich, but he is not a fan of like nachos. Like if you take tortilla chips and then some shredded cheddar cheese on top and melt it. Yeah, he's not a huge fan of that. So they've been in there a while and I need to eat them. Here's the thing. I have no desire to and broccoli's not really my favorite vegetable. So eating it when I'm not on the diet, I don't feel like eating broccoli. When I am on the diet, I can't have the cheese. So I told my husband, I'm going to eat those as soon as I get off the diet. Because it'll taste great at that point. All right. So yeah, that's all I was going to say today. Hunger on the diet means you need to adjust your hCG. And I've always said up or down, because I knew that maybe you needed to reduce it, maybe you needed to add it. But I was surprised how many times it was popping up saying, if you're hungry, you might be taking too much hCG. Thinking maybe just in general that hormone is affecting my body. I am not hungry at all right now. You know, it's funny, as I'm doing this research and I'm looking on the internet, I'm trying to get as much information as I can to answer the question of what's happening. And of course, I found on many different sites and they talk about stalls or weight gain, and it's everything that we've talked about in the past, and none of it really applies to me. The only thing that would kind of apply is it says, did you cheat on the diet? And I have had more fats than you're supposed to on the diet, but it's no different than my last 2 rounds. That's the clincher for me. I have that salad dressing on it. Now, maybe I have been having the salads, been having a lot of lettuce. I've been bulking up a lot. And so maybe there's a little extra. There probably is extra salad dressing. And I used to always measure out 2 tablespoons. And then like by the end of the last round, I stopped. And this time I haven't measured at all. So it could be that I'm adding too much salad dressing on it and not being aware. That's very, very possible, in fact, because I just kind of dump and mix and stir and go, yeah, everything looks like it's pretty much coated. I mean, not coated like dripping, like, just so that I don't get a whole mouthful of just lettuce and I have no flavoring in there whatsoever. But it probably is getting coated now that I think about it more than usual, and I haven't been measuring. So that's one step I'm going to take. Now, ideally, I should do one of these at a time and then say, aha, that was the culprit. But I just don't have the time to mess around with that. So I'm going to change a couple things, and then it should guarantee the scale starting to go down, hopefully quicker, to make up for the days that I've lost nothing and then I gained 0.9. So 1, when I have my salads, I'm going to measure out, make sure it's no more than 2 tablespoons of salad dressing. 2, I'm not going to have the salad every day with the salad dressing. I'm going to eat more of those mixed vegetables that are okay on the protocol. I just don't know if I have any in the house right now. I don't think I do. So it might be a day or 2 before I get them. I don't know if I'm planning on going out. Certainly, Costco's not like around the corner from me. So I'll have to see about that. Today's a Monday. It's possible that my husband might go to Costco today when he takes my son to fencing. Okay. You don't care. So I'm going to scrounge around to find other vegetables that I have. I mean, I have canned vegetables, but I suppose that's better than nothing. I like a frozen vegetable. I like a fresh, a fresh vegetable that was frozen, which when defrosted essentially is still, it's not the same, but I mean, it certainly doesn't taste the same, but by and large, I think it's the heating properties that tend to take a lot of the vitamins out of things and not the freezing properties. Freezing's supposed to keep everything stagnant. So that's my understanding anyway. So canned stuff is just a whole different process. But you know what? I'll do it. That's what I'll do today. I'm going to do no salad dressing. We don't have a whole lot of lettuce left in the refrigerator anyway. My husband makes a salad and takes it with him to work every day as well. So I'm okay. The salad won't go salad. I use the word lettuce and salad interchangeably at times. The lettuce won't go bad. So that's one thing I'm going to do. Another thing I'm going to do is only do my dose twice a day. And I'm not going to force it either. There does seem to be times on the diet where I'm like, ooh, I'm hungry. Oh, it's time for my dose. I take the dose and 15 to 20 minutes later, I'm not hungry anymore. So I think I need to get back there as opposed to this. I'm taking my dose regularly 3 times every day philosophy. So 2 doses a day and reducing the fat even more. Here's the interesting thing. My salads this time have all been this chicken. Very, very, very low fat food. Last time I was on this diet, my meat in my salad with the salad dressing was salmon. It is a food that is not approved on the hCG diet, but I just love it so much and it made me so happy and it was in the house when I started the diet, so that's what I was just on, and I just lost weight every day. So if I say I have a little bit more salad dressing, well, that kind of compensates for the fact that I'm eating just plain old chicken in my salad as opposed to salmon that was in there before. In all honesty, right? I mean, it just makes sense to me. I think the amount of fat is the same, but obviously too much fat is not going to be a good thing. And maybe I'll sit down with a pen and paper and figure out exactly how many calories I'm having on the diet as well. Maybe, I don't think that it's too high, but there were a couple days, maybe it took a couple days for the fact that I was having a handful of peanuts to catch up. I know that there's a lot of fat and calories in a handful of peanuts. So maybe I'll scoop a handful, I'll count them out, or I'll measure them or figure out whatever the ingredients are on there and figure out exactly how much fat and calories I was putting in my body. And maybe I'll be surprised by that. Anyway, I just wanted you to know that I'm not as down as I was yesterday. Well, yeah, I suppose if I had another weight gain, I would be. My whole day was off then. I was in a funk all day long, and I'm never in a funk on this diet. I am always in a good mood, which is interesting because one of the side effects of hCG is they say irritability, restlessness, fatigue, depression. I, as I've said in other videos, find on this diet that I'm happy. My husband even says when I'm like, oh, I'm going to go on the diet again. He's like, the one with your happy drops? Because I just, I remember the first time doing it, just being shocked, like expecting a miserable presence and just being shocked at how happy I was. I won't say energized. Like naturally, as your body gets smaller, it makes you feel good. You want to move around, and that kind of all goes together with your emotions and making you feel, happy, joyous, however you want to say it, just like in a more pleasant disposition. So I guess it would make sense that if part of not feeling like your body's getting smaller and the scale also not showing it would lead to that. But in general, what I found is I really truly believe that the hormone, because as I get rid of the hormone, usually about a week later, I hit like a crash, like a, although I didn't last time. That's the first time I really didn't. So, okay, so many variables, so many things to consider. That's all I'm going to say for today. I keep looking down over here because this is where my numbers and what I ate and all my information is. So I apologize. When I speak to you, I look down here. We'll take a look at that. Today, I will have different vegetables. I don't even know what I'm going to do for protein. I might have to go with a canned chicken. Because I ate up all that chicken. I don't know what I have for protein. I mean, I know I have red meat in my house, frozen. I have like some burger patties, but that's the last thing I want to do is go to something with a higher fat content. I have to think about that, what I'm going to have for my lean protein today. And I am going to do no salad dressing for a few days. Also, I'm not going to have any more hCG. I took it first thing this morning. I didn't feel a need to. If anything, I felt like full. Maybe I'll have it this evening. If I get hungry during the day, do I take more? Inquirer minds want to know, how do you do this now? Because if you're taking too much and it's a sign of hunger, and then you get hungry later, but you're reducing the amount you're taking, it's the ethical dilemma of how to adjust your hCG dosing. All right, I'll let you know. Tomorrow has to be a loss, right? If I stay on track and I'm doing well, my golly, I can't go from a 1 pound gain and then a day of a stall, still doing well on this diet and not lose anything. Something has to break through. I feel like I need just a breakthrough. Does that make sense? That's like what I'm waiting for. Like all of a sudden, the scale says you lost 1.5 pounds. Okay, we're back on track. Even if the next day I just lose 0.3, I just feel like I need a big breakthrough. But I suppose at this point, I'll take anything. Give me any weight loss. Come on. Throw me a bone. I'm being good. I'm being better than I've always been in the past anyway. We'll figure it out together. And when I solve it, I will let you know so that you don't experience what I'm going through on this diet. You take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.